Okay, so clarity around parenting and around life and around kids. Clarity is really setting kids up for success, setting ourselves up for success, setting our homes up for success, setting our routines up for success, setting our problems up for success. And it's really all about getting back to stand two. Actually, I was speaking to Yocheved Rotberg that you guys have met. We did a podcast recording and it is fantastic. You guys should listen. When she said that the way she says it is like 1 + 2 = 3. Stand one and stand two equals stand three. When you have a foundation of absolutely no to negativity, and it's just not where I live, it's not where I'm going, it's not where I'm investing myself, even though I see it and it exists and I'm not ignoring it, but I'm just too busy with stand two. Who are we? What do we stand for? What are our values? What do we care about? And building each other up and building ourselves up and showing up for what's right. Then our clarity, that equals 3. Our clarity flows from there of like, okay, so what's going to lead us to stay and stand two? Like, what's going to keep us here? What's the best thing, the best way to support all of us in staying in our greatness, in staying in our values, and staying in our connectedness and our relationship? So clarity is all about that. Clarity is all about how do I not be in stand one and be in stand two? And that applies to anything we're applying Nurtured Heart to. Specifically with the kids, we want to ask ourselves, well, how do we set them up for success? Do they know, are there rules? Do they know the rules? Do they know the expectations? Do I have any negativity towards this rule that's making me be in stand one around this rule? And I can be in stand one. I can be in negativity around the rule, even when it's being followed, if I have negativity around the rule, because my attitude about it might be like, finally, like, good, you're doing it, because like God forbid you shouldn't, like it's the worst thing ever. There's like guilt or intensity around it. And then I want to really ask myself, the clarity of clarity is, how is this rule already being kept? If I want to stay in stand two, and if I want to stay in what's right, in what's going right, and building relationship and fostering connection and fostering respect and fostering awe of my children and each other, I want to be looking for, how is this rule already being kept about all my rules, especially the ones that I'm wanting to reinforce. I want to reinforce them in a way that supports inner wealth and not in a way that takes away from it. So how is this rule already being kept? Once I have it all set up and all communicated and everything, that's really where I'm going with it, is remembering to notice and remembering to recognize. As simple as, I see you remembered what we just talked about yesterday, you went and whatever, or, hey, I really appreciate that I shared how important it is to me that XY happens, or that something isn't done here. And I noticed that you've been working on that. I noticed that, 3 out of 5 times today, you made sure to follow through with that. And I see your effort and I see your respect of our family. That's where I'm engaging. That's where I'm connecting. So I want to revisit something in the main workshop, which is about the video game and how Nurtured Heart really mirrors a video game very, very, very similarly. It's a really good way of understanding all the 3 stands and this whole way of operating life. We do have a game, meaning there are rules, there are values, we have a home, there is functionality, there are systems. Yes, but what is the way that invites people to play in a way that they are invested, that they want to show up, that they want to show off their greatness, that they want to be successful, that they want to win? What brings them in? What is it about that video game that really compels kids to successfulness? I don't want them to do it because they're scared of getting punished. I don't want them to do it because they're scared of me catching them. I don't want them to do it because they feel shame or guilt or worry about how I'm going to feel or what's going to happen to them in the future. I want them to want to be their best selves and show up for the world in great ways because that's who they are, and because that's what they care about, because that's what their values are. So the video game incentives are strong and predictable. When we're playing a video game, well, first of all, clear and predictable. That's the whole clarity we talked about. There is a path. There is a way to success. There is right and wrong. There is what's supposed to happen. There are expectations. The universe of the video game is set up already, and I already have done that. All the coders in the background, right? We're the coders who create this video game. Once that's all set up and they press start by being born, we show up for what it is that is good and right. Incentives are strong and predictable. You are getting somewhere in life. You are being seen. You are being appreciated. You're being celebrated. You're being received. You're valued here. You know that because you're being told that, because you're feeling it, because you're seeing it. The video game has ways to show you that with the score and with the bells and with the whistles. And I think that, I mean, I've said this many times, but I think that sometimes it sounds from this like we need scores and bells and whistles. We really don't. It's not about the sticker charts and the loudness of our voice. It's really can be very quiet and very nuanced, but we're letting them know you've got this, you're doing this. It all comes back to stand two. The rules are clear and predictable, right? You can't win something in the video game without playing the game the way the game wants you to. You can't just break rules in the game and not have any consequences. It always delivers that consequence. It's always the same thing. It's always getting you out. I have so many examples. There was one more recently that I thought this is such a great example, but I don't remember what it was, where again, the kids figured out that a game is not perfect and had like some sort of cheating way that you could, like a loophole that you could not have to play the game. And they were so excited about it. And they were going through that loophole. Like, why should I, if the game doesn't even care if I do it or not, like, why should I do it? If there's nothing, if there's no value, it's easier, quicker, faster to break these rules, right? I get what I want faster and easier, which is like to be successful on the next level or to get to the higher level or, whatever it is. Why would I work so hard? So we deliver the consequence always. The rules are clear and predictable. And in a moment, the child is back in the game and is inspired not to break the rules again. In a moment, we shift back to stand two. The second when the rule is not being broken, the second when they're resetting, the second when we're thanking them. I laugh because my 3-year-old I don't know what she'll do. And I sometimes watch myself and I'm like, it's really funny parenting. Like, it's not what you would expect that, like, she does something wrong, let's say, and I say reset or whatever it is, and I tell her what she needs to do, and then she does it, and I'm like, what am I saying about it? I'm saying, like, thank you so much. That was so responsible of you or she forgets something and then remembers and runs to get it. And what am I saying? You're so responsible. You remembered to go run and get it. It's like so counter, I don't know, normal. Normally it's like, okay, well, next time, make sure you put it in your backpack. But I'm going to focus on what's going right. What's going right is that she remembered and that she went back to get it. It's all about clarity is also all about stand 3. Clarity is also all about where's my stand 1 and stand 2. And when they're doing the game, when they're playing the game, when they're putting in the effort, when they're sharing their feelings, when they're telling you why something's hard for them, when they're sharing, when they're pushing back against a rule, when they're communicating, when they're breaking a rule and then not breaking it the next time. When they're remembering something that, they should remember, and finally they're old enough to remember. Clarity is that they're doing the right thing. I'm going to show up for it. I'm going to appreciate it. I'm going to value it. I'm going to celebrate. I'm going to let them know that they're seen for it. And the deeper and deeper and deeper levels of clarity is based on the belief, the bottom line belief that I know that these are good people, and I know that whatever's going on makes sense. And that there's greatness everywhere if I can look through the layers and find it, that even when they're breaking the rules and even when they aren't, being successful, and even when there isn't stuff getting checked off, they're on level 1 for days and days and days, and they're never getting to level 2 and they keep getting out, that I can even find the greatness in that. I can even lean into who is this person and what is going on for them. The greatness of we're still trying. We're still here. We're apologizing. Or we're playing, we have the courage to know who we are and like a kid who's depressed, who's staying in bed all the time, the greatness of like standing up against the world to say, no, I don't want to feel the pain. I'm not up for showing up. I'm staying in bed. Like, that's a lot of resistance. That's a lot of strength. That's a lot of, I don't care what anyone thinks. Like, that's a lot of surrendering to the exhaustion and the heaviness and the pain and darkness. But it's an independence. It's a not caring. It's a not anxious. I have to be perfect and I have to show up and I have to please people. Whatever it is, I can lean deeper and find that deeper thing. The next piece of this is a really fun example of how to stay where I want to stay and not go where I don't want to go in this video game way of clean energy, of stand 1, stand 2, stand 1, stand 2. And that comes from Josh Kirsten, for those of you that have heard him, and you might have heard me say this before, but it is the playground example, where there is a play structure that is your playground. And it is cut off like with a sandbox or a wood chip box. So there's a very defined wall around where your playground is. And it's a great playground. And there's all kinds of fun things you can do in your playground. And you are so present in your playground. You're jumping and playing hide and seek and climbing and sliding. And it's really great. Like you're fully present in your playground and you're fully present with whoever's playing in your playground. When your kids are in your playground with you, which is whatever you set up as how life works in this home and in this family, right? They're playing, you're playing too. I am here fully, or I'm being clear that I'm taking a break for 10 minutes and you can expect me to come back, or taking a break for 9 months and coming back after 9 months. But you're being clear about what's going on. Why is mommy not playing? So that they know what to expect and why it's so boring. And we can expect them to leave our playground at that time because it may actually be very boring. I was in a really bad mood this morning and I just like spiraled because it was so dumb what I was spiraling about. So I felt dumb. So I was telling myself I'm dumb. So then I spiraled more and then I was just being mean to everyone. And then I was like, it's not your fault that I'm in a bad mood. And it's not your fault. And I'm like yelling at them about that. Anyway, when they left the house, I was like, sorry for my bad mood. They got a ride to school, most of them. My preschooler is still at stake. And my son's like, it's okay, Ma. You're welcome. I was like, thanks for helping clean up. You're welcome. Like he so didn't care. Anyway, which is fantastic. And I'm very proud of that. But the point of the matter is that my playground is a great place to find me. And I'm consistently there. And they can consistently come play with me or have clarity on when I'm going to be back. Like it's a very solid space for them to be with me and get their needs met, etc. Now, there are other playgrounds in the world. If you walk out of my playground, if you step out of my wood chips, if you step out of my sandbox, the wooden little walls, there are other playgrounds out there. And I can't promise that those other playgrounds don't have things to offer that I don't offer. Like it's very possible that there's stuff there that I'll never give you in my playground ever, because maybe I'm really not okay with it. And maybe I'm really not that person. And really, I'm never going to do that. There are moms who don't read to their kids because they hate reading. There are moms that don't play with their kids because they hate playing. That's okay. You can be you. Like there's a lot of ways you love them that aren't, that. Anyway, and then there's like the thrill and pleasure of a lot of evil in the world that has real pleasure and has real benefits, It does. It feels great. It fills whatever need you're looking for on a surface level or whatever level. Anyway, point of the matter is there are other playgrounds out there. Now, what happens when my kid leaves my playground? What happens when they walk over that wall? And they walk to a different place? They've broken a rule. Those boundaries of my playground are my clarity, are my stand 3. This is where I play. This is where I exist. This is where you will find me. I don't break my own rules. I don't step out of this space. I stay here. If you're going to leave and I come walking out after you, so you're sitting there clearly, blatantly breaking a rule, and I'm like, coming to convince you, come back into my playground. Come on. Threatening, bribing, lecturing, convincing, making it fun, changing it up to get you to come back to do or not do whatever it is that you are doing or shouldn't be doing, whatever it is. I'm basically communicating that my walls of my playground aren't real. Because if you leave, I leave. So actually you decide where I show up. So you can go anywhere and I'll just follow you and I'll just be with you. And you actually, because I want you to be in my playground so much, so badly, you might even get a bigger version of me out of the playground. So if I leave my playground, then why in the world should they stay? So as we're talking about clarity and trying to make this practical, stand 1 and stand 2 and stand 3, if these are my rules, then my stand 1 and my stand 2 help me to stay clear too. Because my stand 1 is I'm not following them, which requires a ton of trust. But I'm being clear that I'm not following them. If they're younger, I might use more words. If they're older, I might use less words. But I can't talk to you and play with you and help you and whatever with you while your dishes are still on the table. Because the rule is you have to put them away before you can leave. So if I do that, if I also forget about the dishes on the table and go play with you and talk to you and help you with other things, then I'm breaking my rules. And my rules are important. So that's my reset. I'm not coming out of my playground. But I am here, and you will find me when you come back. And that's the restart that is crucial for any of this to not be abandonment. I am here, and you will find me. And I trust you that you'll come back and press restart. So I invite you all to spend a minute to just kind of bring yourself to an epiphany, an aha, something you want to think about more, maybe an action step, something that I'm going to take away from this session. And thank you for being here.
Hey, wait, don't go yet. Take a minute to find the beautiful quality that you have, that you appreciate about yourself.